Yo, what's up, guys? Damnation-n-Hellfire here, and we're here with another rousing episode of Battle Pirates Crow's Nest. Did I say rousing? I did say rousing, didn't I? So tonight we got here with us, very shortly, we have George with us.
Hi, guys. Wow, your microphone actually works right now. I don't know what you just did, but do that every time.
I took it out of the desk drawer.
That would help.
Mike, you're with us. What's going on, buddy?
Yeah, I'm here. Not much. Hello, everybody.
And we got Dan.
Hey, guys.
Mike's. Sorry, I keep using everybody's real name. I'm terrible.
Hey, most people know me anyhow.
All right, on. So apparently there's a raid going on today.
I guess that's what I was told too.
How's everybody doing? Like, where are you at points wise?
I hit 2 targets.
You whale!
To make a video, and that was it.
You whale! You. Like, what kind of damage time were you getting?
I did them both on auto because I wanted a baseline, and I haven't had a chance to actually get back on. But it was like I think it was like 3 hours and 45 minutes on auto.
Nice.
But the thing that really kind of worries me is I'm hearing from a lot of other people that they're like getting way more than that. I had one guy message me and was like, I don't know what the hell you did, but I did 2 of them. He did a set on the app and came out with 8 hours of damage. And I was like, what the hell are you? What are you using?
I mean, I'll be honest. You did better than me. I think when I did 2 targets full auto, and I got like 5 hours 53 minutes.
Yeah, a lot of people are reporting a lot of disparity, and the thing is, some of them are very close to builds. I did tweak mine a little bit. I didn't put on the D6 whatever fucking M armor because I used that on my FM fleet, but I did put the comm on the scatter fleet because the scatter fleet's going to be closer. It's going to be eating all that scatter fire. So I don't know. I don't know if it's just inconsistencies in the target. I don't know if it's something RNG related. I have no idea.
Yeah,
I don't like these new targets, to be honest. I really don't. They're not good for autoing anyhow.
Oh, I think that's the fault of the auto hull, not the target. I mean, you can tune that target to allow for the auto hull to actually do its job, and right now it's fucking not.
Well, I think part of it is the fault of the target, just because the way the boats come rushing at you, and that's not conductive for auto play.
Well, I mean, the thing is, though, the auto hull is supposed to be heavy on resistances, right? Because it's gonna, by nature, it's gonna sit in all the fire anyway. So whether the ships get there quicker or slower, really that much of a difference unless you get overwhelmed, which may happen. I'm not entirely sure. I haven't actually even rewatched it to make sure. But the thing is you can tune. I mean, look, you can tune the damage in these targets pretty damn well. And in the past, we know how we've known how to get around it to where we can either use crews and take advantage of the crews or the healing ability of ships and stuff. And 1 to 2 gold per target tops is. I mean, I honestly I was getting like 1 or 2 gold for the sets in the past, and I don't see this as a very good way to go forward because. Look at the points you need. I mean, I was just screwing around and I was almost at 1 billion points for crap that I want. And I'm like, everyone's like, oh, well, need and want. I'm a top end player. Okay. I have an expectation of being able to get what I want, not just what I need.
Exactly.
So,
well, I mean, just in the build tokens, it's 336 million, I think.
I have no idea. All I know it's a lot of damn points. But if you figure, what is it, 12? Is it 12 million? 10 million per
turret?
Oh,
no, per set. No, you get 10 million.
10 million. So you figure 10 million at 8 gold. So 1 billion points is how much? 800 gold?
Yep, pretty much.
1,000 gold, some shit like that. I mean, it's fucking just no, come on, man. That's ridiculous.
Yeah,
that's ridiculous.
I agree.
Yep.
Well, let me ask a question going across the board, and I'm pretty sure I know the answer for most guys, but I'm going to ask it anyway. I know a lot of people were going to use this raid as a litmus test to test their whole players first and we're listening thing across the board. Fail or pass. I'll start with myself. Fail. George.
Oh, that's a fail. I mean, I mean, I think I said it last month when they first came out with that shit. This is gonna be the first test. This is gonna
Mike.
be the first test.
It's a fail.
Mike.
Yeah, it's a fail. The damage is just too much, and the points is just too many points required.
Yeah, so I mean, there you have it. I mean, there's, all they'd have to do is adjust the damage some, and I'd be happy. You know,
You know what their counter is going to be, though, right?
oh, what's that?
Their counter is going to be like, "Oh, we put a whole lot of stuff in the raid, so you guys have a selection."
Yeah,
but it's too expensive.
You are making me take a whole lot of damage and have to get a whole lot of points. So the only person benefiting by that is your pocketbook.
Kicks eye. But that goes back to the whole need and want thing. If they give us that much of a selection, right? Why do we expect to have, the ability to get everything for reasonable amount of damage?
Yeah, and also
that reasonable word.
They're also going to say, "Well, we didn't lock nothing, so you could pick and choose what you want anyhow."
I mean, that is actually, I'm glad you brought that up, because that is the one big bonus of this raid is there's no lock store. There's nothing hid behind other bullshit. It's just there, and if you get the points, you can get it. And I hope they continue with that format, because I'm so tired of the freaking lock shit.
Yeah, they put it the way it should be. Should have always been. And then he went to had so much complaining about everything. Having nothing locked and have it just the way it is to be able to get what you want for the points you get, and that's what you know.
A lot of people keep on referencing BP in the old days, right? Because of PvP and stuff, and this is how PvP was, and Kixeye wants to go back to kind of bring back the fun into the game, right?
Exactly.
Players first and all that shit. Here's a hint, Kixeye. When you were at the top of the game, you'd be done with raid within hours on the first day.
Oh yes.
Just saying.
Yes. Yep. Exactly. I say back in the old days when we had the co-op targets, those were fun. Playing with your other players, getting the same amount of points.
Like, I can remember days when I would be willing to spend 75 coins on a raid because I could be done with it in an hour and a half. And to me, my time was worth that 75 coins to be done in an hour and a half. Now they're I could throw freaking 200 coins at it, and I still wouldn't. There's no way I'd be done in an hour and a half.
Yeah, and that's what I was about to say was, back in the day, it used to be time or coin. Now it's both.
Yeah,
that's a bad combination, and it's going to continue dropping players off. I mean, it's just will.
Yeah,
and and I'll be honest with where we're at damage wise. If it wasn't for the points requirement, I might be a little bit more willing to let that slide. If it wasn't for the fact I need 1 billion points, but dude,
if I needed, go ahead.
You can't have a high damage and then require 1 billion points for everything I want on top of that. It's just that's not acceptable.
If I needed 150, 200 million tops for everything, then man, go ahead, 8, 9, 10 coins for the set. I could see that, because then I would have the choice of kind of mitigating that a little bit with time, or I could just coin it and be done.
Yeah,
but this is just holy crap.
It's a grind throughout the whole thing, unless you want to spend 5 coins for $8 million and blitz your ass off.
Oh, so Martin Gosselin's saying it's 45 minutes to repair for him for each 108, 110. So I would love for you to post a video of that up on the page along with your build, if you wouldn't mind, because I'm sure tons of people would be interested in seeing that.
Took me 3.5 hours repair to do one set.
Yeah, I was gonna say I have.
I can do a set in about 2 hours and 40 minutes.
But is that with a grease monkey?
Yes, but I mean that's still, yeah.
Mine was bare no.
I think my best time I came in with a grease monkey was 2 hours 11 minutes, and that was having to drive the auto hull for part of that. So
Yeah, my best time was 2 hours and 4 minutes.
See, driving, I think I can get it down to really, really significantly lower than that 345 for the set. But I mean, one, I'm playing on a laptop, so it's really hard as shit to kite. Two, I mean, I think it's doable. It's just the thing is, it would take forever to do the damn targets because you got to wait for that field to come up every time.
Yeah. Well,
You
you see, in last raid, I was able to auto the targets for about the same. And it wasn't, but they changed how everything worked now, so now I can't do that.
I mean, I was still autoing them. I mean, mine were on full auto with no grease monkey. That 345 was, but the thing is, that's still just it's still too much.
It is.
Because I think I think Vengeful One did it for like some stupid ass short amount of time. But I mean, the thing is how many times can you repeat that every time, and then you have to drive every single target every single time? You're gonna go mad with boredom. I mean, you'll be exhausted. You'll be burnt out. I hate being burnt out after a fucking raid.
Yep. Played an hour and a half, got hour and a half, 2 hours, got 80 million, and I've been on break since.
Yeah, I played an hour and a half. I got 89,999,954. I got gypped out of 46 points somewhere, which means I have to hit another target to claim my other turret, which that really annoys me. I'd love to know where I'm losing points at.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah. I'm not sure where I gained points at.
Apparently you stole them from me, it sounds like.
I don't know where I got those 94 points at.
I mean, isn't that like a really simple thing we should expect? Like, have them get that right? Like, how can you not mess up? I mean, how do you mess up the point payouts?
I don't know. I have no idea. But having looked at some of their math equations, I'm sure they can do it. I'm sure they can do it.
You'd think, but this is an ongoing thing.
No. I mean, I'm sure they can mess it up, is what I meant.
Oh, that's okay. I missed that one. Sorry, that was on me. All right, actually, I have to pop off for a bit. Y'all have fun. Good luck on the raid. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for stopping by.
I'll catch you guys later.
Yeah.
All right, take it easy, buddy. All right, so I mean, it sounds like we're all the opinion. It's not that we don't like the targets; it's just that they're doing a little too much damage at this point.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, you take that damage down by like an hour or two, and I think most people would be a lot more happy than what they are now.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind an hour, at least about an hour damage per target would be, 45 minutes to an hour max. Should be acceptable,
Yeah. But yeah, for those who didn't know, we're talking about Conqueror's Wrath. That's the raid that's going on right now. And obviously, it started all the same normal times that it does. Rolled out at noon Eastern time in alpha, and then just an hour afterwards each and every time. Oh, and hey, Toxic showed up. What's up, buddy?
Oh yeah, how we going?
Hey,
Good.
Toxic.
Hey, Toxic.
And of course, it'll last till the 20th at 9 a.m. kicks time. You got the tier 8 targets, which and this is weird because the way they worded it seemed odd, because people were at first thinking that you had to do the 110, the 108, the 106, and the 104 for the tier 8 target set bonus, but no, you only have to do the 108 and the 110. And then, of course, you get loot boxes. So shards weren't enough. Limited blueprints weren't enough. But now we get random shards for limited blueprints.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, thanks, guys.
I know. I'm really. Well, they just put them in. I hate shards.
I mean, they have literally taken the 3 things that we complain the most about and put them all in one spot. Thanks a lot.
Random and shards.
Yeah, that gives me the shards.
Yeah. I'm a shard on this raid.
I keep opening these chests and seeing. I was like, come on. I was like, why can't I just buy these goddamn turrets, these things. It's just
Of course, for tier 7, you got what, 3 targets, the 83, 85, and 87. Tier 6, you got the 61, 63, 65. And for tier 5, you got that lonely little 41. And then your blitz targets, you got the 89, which is 800,000 points, and you got the 69, which is 125,000 points. Then, of course, your bonuses, the tier 8 bonus is 5 million points for the set. Tier 7 is 1.5 million. Tier 6 is 450,000. And tier 5 is 20K. Prizes, yeah, there's a freaking crap ton of them.
well,
I'm not going to go through the entire list. I'll highlight the ones that are brand new and we got blueprints for. Although I do want to talk a little bit about, where are they at? They're down here somewhere. I just look for the biggest freaking number on the whole prize list. Should be easy to find. Oh, there we go.
There they are.
Yeah, there they are. What do you guys think about the 28 million points for these 7-day build tokens?
That's highway robbery.
Yeah,
I mean,
they out their freaking minds.
I get their logic, because all the 1-day tokens down there are 4 million points apiece. So if you're doing 7 days, 7 times 4 is 28. And I get the logic behind it, but it's the fact that we've been inundated with so many of them at one time. If it was like a normal raid where you got like 2 or 4 turrets and they were that much, I might be okay with that. But the fact that here's like, well, what is it like? Let's see. Well, just for the new ones, you got what, 16 tokens? That's like 336 million points to get those tokens. You're out of your freaking mind.
I mean, if they would cut it in half, make it 14 million a piece, that would look more acceptable. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
And
I
yeah,
guess I'll just wait and get me some base parts.
Feel better.
Yeah, and I mean, Cuttlefish has a great point that with base parts they are instant. Like I've managed to put 2 in my base already of the cryo ones, and I got more base parts coming in from expeditions. But it's just, I don't know. I'd like to have them in as soon as possible, but I'm not willing to pay 28 million points. No.
That's nuts.
So yeah, that's kind of crazy talk right there. There are a lot of tokens though. I mean, other types of tokens. You got your shards like we always have. Then you got mana cord tokens, Makara mana cord tokens, which apparently the raid's the only place you're ever going to be able to get them. So stock up if your Makara is still not quite where you want it. You got dragon tokens, which are always good because we constantly have to refit that fleet.
No shit.
Sloth tokens, they're good. Gutspill Phoenix tokens, Gutspill Skyfire tokens, regular Phoenix and Skyfire tokens, Brennus tokens, Missile Storm Cruiser tokens, Onslaught tokens, Warden tokens, Impact Cruiser tokens.
You're trying to say we're getting tokens?
I think we're getting a couple tokens. I'm not sure.
Well, the only token I didn't see on there was we didn't see the Centurion tokens.
Yeah, I was kind of not happy about that either.
I mean, those are some damn long builds.
Yeah, and I mean we've had proto tide tokens like a bunch of times at this point.
Yeah, that's I mean, sure, I need to adjust my proto tide a little bit now for the new target for the 120, and it'd be just fine. But yeah, I need the Centurion tokens. Damn it.
Yep.
I mean, I'd rather pay him a little bit more for the token, and let it be a generic, and I can do whatever I want with it.
Yeah,
that's just my opinion, though.
Yeah, we're far away from having generic tokens ever again.
I think so too. We're gonna get shards of tokens next soon. You watch.
Yeah, right.
There you go. Don't
Why did you even say that? Why did you even say that?
Oh, it's a Freudian tongue.
Good God. The only person I ever heard anything say worse than that was when White Star announced live on the air that the Grease Monkey thing was broken, and even after it ran out, you could still get half repairs.
Yeah.
I wish that was still happening.
Yeah, me too. I was crossing my fingers earlier, and then it ran out, and then my repairs went up, and I was like, damn it.
Like, oh, well.
So they're having a community contest right now that if the average point total of any person who participates in the raid is at 100,000 points, that everybody's going to get a 1-day generic ship build token. So that's kind of cool. I mean, it's nice that they're doing that. The one thing it does show me participation is down because I've never really seen them do anything like this before. So
yeah, they're trying to get participation up, but
I mean, 100,000 points really is not that much. So I mean, I think later down the post they said the average right now, depending on the rate, is like 75 to 95K. So if everybody participates just a little bit more than what they normally do, we'll be fine. And I think they said, like, if you do one of the S targets, which is like 2.5 million points or whatever, you've covered yourself and 24 other people for their 100,000.
Oh, really?
yeah.
And of course, we got some people that are going to be getting like, 800 million, a billion, 1.5 billion. So I think we'll be able to do it.
I think so too. It's
And to get your prize, all you have to do is log in once during the raid. So that's pretty cool. So I guess we'll talk about the prizes some at this point. We're going to go backwards, actually. We're going to go back up to the Witch Doctor. Let's start at the bottom.
That was it. Yeah.
All right. Who wants to talk about this turret?
Oh, I can.
All right.
I can go ahead and give it a go. The Conqueror Adder Strike Turret 2, isn't it?
No, the other one was just Adder
The Adder Strike. Yeah, no, this is the Conqueror. Okay. This is a Conqueror. Well, basically the second one, but yeah. I mean, it has a projectile speed of 550, has a splash at 12, a spread of 40. It has a pretty good range on this one at 191, with 790,240 damage. A reload of 5, multi-shot of 5, does 790, 240,000 submerged damage, and has the corrosive defense bypass of 100%. Has a dot damage for its special ability of 400,000, dot max damage of 800,000. The dot duration is 10 seconds. Damage type is corrosive. It only affects the scattergun. Has a fire field chance of 10%, with a duration of 7 seconds, and a duplicate aura cap of 5 with these. With that range of the fire field will be 30. Combat speed will be reduced by 35%. Flat reload modifier of plus 1 second. Turn speed gets reduced by 40%. And the bonus group tier 7 is corrosive. The duplicate cap of 8 again, with 25% corrosive damage for each.
I like this turret. I like it. I like it for multiple reasons. I like it because it has the slowdown effect. I like it because it has a dot, and you'll get multiple ticks of 360 going all at one time. I like it because it has a good range. For those who didn't know, it has the exact same range as the Howie. So anywhere your Howies can reach, pretty much this can reach. It pairs well with the slow down death of 1,000 cuts thing that we're having currently. Whether I'm still going to like it as much in September when they do the rebalance, who knows? But for the way things are right now, I really like this turret. This is probably my favorite out of all the new turrets.
Well, I have to agree.
Is it going to need no, the thought just lost my mind. The fire supports and stuff like that?
Fire supports will actually not affect this. If you look at fire support, it specifically does not mention corrosive turrets. So you don't necessarily have to worry about having this flanked by, you know, 5 warehouses or whatever.
So that gives you some extra options on, you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Toxic, you have any thoughts on this guy?
Well, me being the guy who just swapped out all his turrets, yeah, it's a welcome addition to the defense of a base. So yeah, I'll definitely throw a few of them in. The same range as the Howie. That means I can put maybe a couple or at least one on the island and one somewhere in the channel. So it'll be good. I think I'm gonna like it.
Yeah, without a doubt, my favorite out of all the new turrets. This is
Might be a
probably my
good,
second
Halo
favorite.
replacement.
Oh, what's that?
Might be a good Halo replacement.
I know I personally have dropped all the missiles out of my base now, and I'm switching everything that was missiles over to corrosive.
Mm-hmm.
Just because, if nothing else, just the constant ticking of that dot is going to be worth it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So, Toxic, you want to go over the death side?
I can. It's a Scourge tech. It's tier 7, as most of them are. It's a missile that does corrosive damage. It's got a. I think the projectile speed is pretty low for a missile, 125. I thought missiles were quicker than that. The accuracy is 85, so it's accuracy-based weapon. It's got a salvo of 2 and a reload time of 7. Now the range, it's got a fair-sized donut, so you got to sort of stay away. You won't be able to close up onto anything because your missiles will stop shooting. And it gives you a corrosive defense bypass of 100%. It also has dot damage. The duration is 45 seconds, and it also goes to the bonus group of tier 7 on the corrosive side, and as usual, it's 8. And it gives you, every time you get one, it gives you 25%. We all know that, though.
One thing I want to point out that a lot of people have been confused by this dot damage of being 540,000 and then dot max damage of only 60,000. We are going to explain that later in the show, so keep tuned in case that's really freaking confusing you, because I know a lot of people are having a hard time with that. So, a couple interesting things to note. Missile specials for turrets will not affect this because specials go off damage type, not weapon type. So anything that would extend your missile range, not going to work on these things.
I was just about to say whether we can put both of them on missile and corrosive, but I guess not.
Yeah, which is something up until today, I actually had no idea that that's the way that worked. But then that leads you to another interesting fact. Okay, so are countermeasures going to work against it? Because our countermeasures work against weapon type, or they work against damage type? But I'm pretty sure countermeasures actually work against weapon type, so this should be able to be CM'd. But don't quote me on that. Don't bet the farm. Yes, no Phobos. Muddle Missile's different, though, because Muddle Missile did penetrative damage, and then the corrosive was secondary damage. That's why missile specials worked on the Muddle Missile, but not on this.
Don't some of the countermeasures say anti-penetrative, and the other one says anti-missile? So I wonder whether that's got something to do with it. Whether you can only use either or.
That could very well. The ones that say anti-missile, you probably can, and if they say anti-penetrative, you probably couldn't, because the damage type is not penetrative.
Right.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Sure, we'll find out.
So, like this guy, I'm not 100% sure of. I'm not real happy with the projectile speed. you know, being that slow. I'll probably get 2 and put on my back island, you know, just to have them there for the buff, if nothing else. And if they get, you know, some extra dots going in addition to the other dots, hey, the more the better.
Yep. It's an interesting turret. I'm not sure. Totally convinced on it yet.
I'm going to skip up to the direct scattered turret. Like, why they didn't put all the turrets together in the prize list, I'm not sure. But anyway, Mike, you want to go over this one?
Yeah, let me try and do that. So again, they're all tier 7s, right? So they're
Right.
all, it looks like they're all consuming 14,000. So I guess we're pretty constant on that. This one's a scatter gun. It's delivering some corrosive damage. I guess fair projectile speed. Splash of 10, spread of 50. Fair range of 105, no inner ring, so it's all the way up to it. Delivers a fair amount of damage. I think I might be looking at putting these in mine. But there's a reload of 6, 10 multi-shot, and it does submerge damage as well. So in case somebody wants to sneak a sub in on you. And you get the corrosive defense bypass of 100%, and then your bonuses for corrosive and duplicate of 8, just like the others, is corrosive damage 25%. But
something I thought was very interesting about this one, no dot damage whatsoever.
Yeah.
Nope.
They just put it all straight up front, and here, I'm going to pound your face in if you get too close.
Yeah, I think I like this one because of that. For what I know, anyway, that's a lot of damage, seems like.
The thing I don't like, though, is it can be outranged by most stuff in the game as far as base hitters right now, though, because it only has a 105 range.
105.
Now, you can up that some with the range transformer and get an extra 10 on there as far as range. You're going to be losing some of your power. But, I mean, depending on where you have it placed and everything, in some bases it might be worth doing that. You're probably only going to get 1 volley at most, 2 if you have it way maxed up on defenses, maybe. But you know, I mean, with that kind of damage it's putting out, it could hurt. It does have multi-shot at 10 though.
Yeah, it's a lot of multi-shot to go.
That's what I was thinking. It's now. Yeah, let me ask the question. I guess, is that damage divided by those 10?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
But then if you put a multi-shot special on, though, it adds a multi-shot is so weird and so confusing.
Yeah.
It's not, and it is, you know.
But I tell you what, though, if this thing had multi-shot and it had a dot with it, oh my god, I would be all over this thing. I'm like, wow, that's 10 ticks of 360 every second. That's like 3,600 damage a second just from dots. Yeah, I'd be all over this thing if that was the case. But
well, that's kind of what I thought it was when I started.
Yeah, just no dot, and I'm sure that's why they didn't put the dot there. You know, because they're like, oh, that might be too much. But we also got the new compressed corrosion canisters too. I mean, you know, it's pretty much the next generation of the compressed corrosion canister ones.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
this is only for your Conqueror and Defenders though. Plus 15 weapon weight, which is not bad. It is retrofittable because you can see there in the blueprint it's at rank 15. A spread of minus 40%, splash of plus 65%, and corrosive damage of plus 91.9%. Sometimes I wonder where they get their numbers from. I guess that was after retroing fit. It got up to 91.9, but it's like, why can't it just be 92 or 95 or whatever? Or 90? Make it a nice round.
They're trying to be exact.
The thing I like about that is the spread.
Yeah, the way it really tightens it in.
Yeah, that's a huge number, 40%.
It's got a pretty big splash number too.
Yeah, that splash is really big on it. I like that.
I think it's one of the heftier splashes if I recall correctly. Like I think the biggest one we have is 85%, but 65% is up there pretty good.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I think this is definitely a special worth getting. If you're getting the Witch Doctor, I don't see why you wouldn't get this special. Then we got the Hex Scattergun. And Dan, you want to go over this one?
And sure, the Hex Scattergun. Another corrosive type, 750 tons. Let's say it has an over damage of 680, projectile speed of 750, splash of only 7. Huh. Spread of 125. Has a decent range of 89, I guess. Damage of 16,394. 7-second reload. Seven multi-shot. 16,000 submerged damage. Wall damage 28,689 and building damage of 20,492. Huh. The damages aren't. Thought there'd be more for building and wall damage. With what we got.
Yeah. Although, once you start putting stuff like siege battery on it and then and siege targeting on, you're getting a 410% damage, so
yeah.
So you're looking at like 100k wall damage, over 100k wall damage, and like 80k building damage. That's not too bad.
And yeah, it's going to be the go-to weapon, I guess.
Sorry, I forgot to scroll down to see that it gives
penetrating deflection.
Yeah, that penetrating deflection of 105k, and then of course it gives you penetrative pass
through. Yep.
And if you use that special, the corrosive canister 2, then you almost get another 100% of corrosive damage. You get more splash and less spread, so it looks good. I can't wait to see the first one hit something.
Yeah, it'll definitely be interesting, and I agree with what Dan said and what some of the people in chat are saying. The numbers seem weak, but there's been a lot of things that we've seen numbers look weak on paper, but when you start using them in the game, you're like, holy freaking crap!
Yeah,
the big one that always pops to my mind is the cryo depth charge. On paper, that thing didn't look all that great, but then when you saw it in action, you're like, holy freaking crap.
Yeah, special kicks magic.
Yeah, right.
Monkey magic.
Monkey business. All right, who wants to go over the hull?
Oh,
I'll do the hull. That's fine. Nobody else stepped up right away, so. Okay,
we'll talk about it.
Yeah, it's Conqueror. You can claim it up to 3 times at 5 million points per claim. It's a Scourge one. You got your max weight of 20k, your standard armor points of 2,327,500. Well, whoever thought we would be saying that was standard armor points,
No kidding.
You get 23.6% range to your scatter guns. There we go with a weird, really precise number again. Scattergun reload of plus 75%, and corrosive damage of plus another 85%. So yeah, when you pair this with the 91% from the other special, and then you pair it with the the siege targeting and siege battery, like I was saying before, you're going to be pumping out a fair amount of damage actually. Corrosive deflection, we're at 1,686,450. You got 50% attack resistance and defense handicap, of course, as always with Conquerors of 100%. 360 pass through on everything. Combat speed of 28, turn speed of 30, map speed of 45. You got thermal of 78. Repair duration 30 minutes, and it can hold up to 8 million cargo, or is that 6 million? Sorry, 6 million. Yeah, my bad. 8 weapon slots, 5 armor slots, 6 special slots, and 1 tac mod.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It looks like a pretty decent hull. I think we can get things set up on it pretty decently.
So, yeah, there's been so many bad jokes about this name. Like, I'm so sick of hearing the ooh-ee, ooh-ah-ah. So tired of hearing that. This has been everywhere.
You got to be a certain age group to know that one, though.
Well, and I don't think anybody even posted the good one, which was the Alvin and the Chipmunks one.
Yeah.
Of course not.
Do I have a keen grasp of the obvious, or am I out in left field when I think that the next cycle we're going to have surface ships fighting submarines?
I
Is
don't
that
know.
what this was telling me?
I
Because
don't know.
you got thermal range on it. This is a surface ship, right?
Yeah, but this is a Conqueror hull, though.
Oh, okay. I'm left field. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, this is their
Okay. For some reason, I was thinking they were giving us their next raid haul.
right. No, that's
no.
we've been so trained into thinking that, but that's actually not what's happening this time.
Okay, erase last 30 seconds. I'll take my foot out of my mouth and then we'll go forward.
I don't know. I did put together just like a real quick, threw together in 10-minute mock buildup of this guy. And so I'm not sure. I'm like, I really honestly have no idea how well it would be. But I mean, my deflections kind of look okay across the board to me. It's got the EMP module on it, so you're stunning shit as you're going through as you take damage. I mean, my ballistic deflections like around the 3 million, which is probably not quite enough right now, but you know, something's got to get here and there.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Penetrating is over 2 million. Explosive is only 233K, but you don't see. I mean, you see some explosive in bases right now, but not a whole lot like you do some of the other damage types. And then, you know, I got the concussive deflections only at 64K because you don't really see much concussive in there right now. And my radioactive's up at like 160 something K. So I don't know. Like I said, it's probably not the absolute best thing, but in my defense, I did only spend like 5 or 10 minutes throwing it together.
Yeah, it's not real bad. I mean, a few tweaks, I think, is all it needs.
Because it's like, and the thing is, it gets harder and harder and harder to start building hulls now as we get more and more damage types coming out of bases. Because forever, like the only thing you had to worry about was, you know, ballistic and penetrative. But now you're going to have to worry about, you know, corrosive, obviously, and then you got some radioactive thrown in there now too. So yeah, it's going to get harder and harder to get your defenses right across the board.
Yep. That it is.
Interesting times ahead.
Yeah, of course. Like I'm not necessarily any big hurry to build this though, because I'll be totally honest. In PvP, other than turrets, which I can do instantly for no cost, I'm not really getting heavy into building PvP hulls or even defender hulls at this point until September comes and I see what they actually have planned. Because I don't feel like spending 15 days, or if I build 3 of them, 45 days. You know, then with one stroke of the mighty keyboard, have it end up being absolute crap and have to refit the whole thing again. So that's kind of where I'm at with that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but you know, there's a lot of ching going to be going on, I'm sure.
If they do another step like from 6 to 7, then we're in the billions. There won't be enough. Your screen won't be wide enough to compensate for all the zeros that we have to put in. Yeah, it's not. I don't think it's going to happen. I think they're gonna make it a gradual step into 8. I hope they do.
They're totally going to change everything back to damages and not I don't know, like it used to be.
Carry on.
Simplify it a lot more.
Yeah, but I'm not sure whether they're going to do that. I don't know. That's it. That'll be a total.
I think they're going to take zeros off of everything and drop everything back down to where it looks right.
Yeah, that'd be good. I mean, it's getting way too complicated. Just reading the numbers. Oh, is it 6, 7, or 8 and zeros in the back there? You know.
Mm-hmm.
So, no, go on.
Yeah, they just need to drop the zeros off everything and put it back down to where it should be, and It'll make things a lot simpler and easier for everybody to understand. As I look at it, 2 million armor points or 2 million. Yeah, yeah, but that really ain't crap when you got 1 million god dang damage coming at you at a time.
Get it all in perspective.
Right.
And explain things like, if they come out like with this dot damage and this damage and that over, and this under and this, that, and that here and deflection and whatnot. Explain it. Just give an explanation. Doesn't have to be a huge long 2 hour.
Yeah. Well,
just a quick explanation.
We've had dot damage before, so it was sort of not that new to us.
Yeah, but don't forget there is new players. There is players that may not have had that damage before, or people players that have gone away and come back after a few years. It's always good. I mean, it doesn't take long. It refreshes our memory. The people that do know about it, it refreshes that maybe something has changed, and the new and the returning players, well, they can have a refresher and they'll learn something new as well. So it doesn't hurt. It's not like anyone's going to complain when they give you some information about the guns and
oh no.
Well, and that's a good lead into what I just pulled up that I wanted to talk about next that I said we were going to talk about earlier. Templar actually did a really good write up on the corrosive turrets and how they're going to work and explaining all that max dot damage as opposed to dot damage and all that stuff. So first big thing to notice, that corrosive deflection does mitigate corrosive dot damage, and it applies each time the damage ticks off. So that's a big thing that a lot of people probably aren't aware of. I know I've heard that question a lot, and that's the way that works. And he used I believe, he used the original Adder Sting turret when he did this right up originally. So, but we can still go with that. So, okay. So each dot is going to go for 24 seconds, right? Because that's what the dot was on that. And the amount of damage a single dot will inflict over its lifetime right there is 16,320. So you're going to take that, for those of you who are interested in the math, you're going to take that 16,320 damage, and you're going to divide that by the 24 seconds that it's active, which takes you down to 680 damage per second, which, as he says, is helpful for the next bit. Now, with maximum stacks, the adder will be dealing 17,000 damage per second. So the way you figure out how your maximum stacks that you can have at that point is you take that 17,000 dot max damage and you divide it by the 680 that you got up here from working with this number, and that tells you to get your maximum dot damage, you're going to need 25 stacks to hit that maximum dot damage number. So I know that was something a lot of people were confused about, and a lot of people didn't understand how the dot damage on the one thing could be 540,000 damage, but then the max dot damage was only 60,000 or whatever. Hopefully that helps explain it some to you guys. For those of you who are into the math aspect of things, I think the way we figured it in for the death size, for example, was it the death size? I think it was the death size. That five stacks is the max you can have on that. I believe for the cryo adders thing, I think it's 20 is the max you can have on that, which sounds like a lot, but when you consider it's a multi-shot weapon and you can buff the multi-shot on it, it's actually not that bad. But were you guys able to follow that at all, or did I totally lose you?
I mean, it explains it. If someone wants to go back and read it really closely, they understand it better.
I'm hearing crickets from the other two guys, so I'm guessing I lost them totally.
No, it's because my switch was off. I was going to say if I had to explain it back to you, I couldn't do it, but I'd have to go back and read it and absorb it better.
Yeah, and I'll get you to explain it to me in a private lesson, Damnation.
Well, maybe that's what I kind of meant.
Gotcha. All right. Well, I will.
I heard it. I heard it. I kind of get it a little bit, but to
Yeah.
really absorb it, I gotta probably read it 2 times at least.
Is it private lessons cost you 100 coins a piece?
Oh,
Yeah.
cheap at half the price.
And that's per each time I have to explain it. So if you don't get it the first time, then it starts getting really pricey.
Okay.
It's going to be an expensive weekend.
It was, I was going to say it was already an expensive weekend without the tutoring sessions. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like I'll post a link to this particular forum post on the page. That way people can go and look at it at their own leisure. Because math, like I know when it comes, especially when it comes to math, most people are visual learners and they have to like see the numbers in front of them. As far as like, you know, being an auditory learner and having somebody explain it to them.
Yeah, that's me. I have to experience.
So I think when it comes to math, that's most people.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that was probably the 2 most important things to take from today's show was that damage is high. Well, I'd say 2 most, but there's probably more than that. Damage is high. Damage is high. There's a crap ton of prizes. Your missile specials on your turret will not work with the death side. That's probably one of the most important things that people need to know. Like, don't be putting range extenders on your death sides because they ain't gonna freaking work. And like that little bit about, you know, factoring out the turret math and how that works and how you can figure out how many max stacks you need is, I think, a very valuable piece of information too.
Yes.
Now I've got one. If you want to hang on, I'll just try to share, and you can highlight me.
There's a lot of things I want to do in my life. Highlighting you is not one of them, buddy.
Oh, come on. Don't be like that. I've slaved all night and all yesterday and last week and the past year to do this. Well, I've done this morning before I took the dog for a walk. I've done 1 S set, 120 and whatever the other one is.
Yep.
And this is the fleet I've done it with. It's got the Makara and four anti-cores. 4 of them, that's the Makara, and 3 of these are missile, and 1's a scattergun. Okay. Now, as you can see, I've gotten about 4 hours worth of damage. The Makara and the last one are the only 2 that don't have the Darkwing on it. And you can see the damage difference between the ones that do have the Darkwing on it and the ones that don't.
Mm-hmm.
I found it strange, so I looked at it, and as you can see, it's 39 minutes for one of them. Next one, you can probably see this 47 minutes for the Makara, and I don't know where the other one, and the last one is 1 hour and 4. So the ones in the middle have all had, the ones with the Darkwing have all had less damage taken. That's not it. Then the Makara and the one that didn't have the Darkwing on it. So I'm thinking that the Darkwing doesn't cover the other 2 for some reason.
Well, let me ask you this also, though, because you're running a mixed fleet, correct?
Yes.
The ones that are taking the least amount of damage, do they have all the same weapon types?
Yes.
And that's all the missiles on that?
Sorry. There's 2 missiles and 1 is the scattergun. Okay.
Now that's interesting. Because if that was like if all 3 of the Darkwings were also the 3 that were the missiles, that would totally make sense because the missiles were always going to be back farther and taking less damage anyway.
Yeah, no, they were. Yeah, that's a missile.
Missile.
That's got the Darkwing on. That's a scattergun, and that's a missile, and that's another missile. So. What's
the Makara missile too?
Makara is a missile too, yeah. So the only one that hasn't got missiles on it is that one. That's the scattergun, and it had the same, like you saw. I mean, I can show you the picture again.
Yeah, I seen.
Which one it is now? That's the silver one. So now it's 38 minutes, and that was it's for some reason took the ones with the dark wing took less damage than the ones that didn't have the dark wing on it. I just thought that'd be interesting.
Yeah, I'm going to log into the game real quick and take a look at the Darkwing blueprint and just see if it says it just buffs the other Darkwings.
It's supposed to buff the all three, every Hulk, because it's got a max cap of 3 on for the Darkwing.
Bonus effect applies to each Manticore, Makara, Manticore, and fleet.
So yeah, that's very interesting. Definitely after the show, I want you to send me those pictures, and I will pass that up. I'll find out what's going on there.
Yeah, the Darkwing's not working the way it should be.
Yeah,
which could be happening. We don't know.
Well, I was thinking of refitting a Darkwing onto that one scattergun, and then on that one missile at the end, and then see what happens. But I've only got 1 day token left. And
well,
it's a day,
plus, if you already have 3 on, you can't put another one on anyway.
Yeah, well, it wouldn't make no difference on it.
Yeah, wouldn't make no difference on the whole thing, but it may save damage on that single ship.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
But again, I've only got 1 token left, so I couldn't do it.
One thing.
That's all I had to say about that.
One tip I will give to in doing the 108s and 110s, try to use the islands to your benefit, because once you take out the turrets, you can kind of kite the ships up to get stuck on the other side of the island, and then you can like nuzzle up against it and kill them without making sure that they never get close enough to shoot you with their scatters. So try to work the target a little bit when you're in there.
Yeah, I've noticed that the buildings in there, the missiles don't. You can outrange the scattergun turret, and the missile gets. I can totally countermeasure everything away.
Yep,
so that's not bad. So nothing of the building hits you, unless you get too close.
A missile defense system is like amazing. I know once I added a couple of those onto my fleet, like no turret missiles ever got through.
Yeah, those are nice. I got those on mine too. They work very well.
About that, you guys got anything else, or are we done?
No.
I don't have nothing else. I don't think. It just damage is still higher than it should be, and prices are. The amount of points needed is crazy.
Yeah, I've only done 1 set, like I said, but it's. I don't think I took that much damage in the last raid. I think it was like 40 minutes or 38 minutes or something, if I remember right. And the points, the tokens there, I'm not going to get any of those tokens. Maybe a couple of ship tokens, but that's it. Just to finish off what I need to refit. But yeah, that's it. I'm not going to go and get quadrillion points. Not when base parts are readily available.
Yeah, no need to spend 28 million on tokens.
Well, base parts are readily available after the raid. We should make sure we're clear about that, because until the raid's over, you're gonna struggle a little bit. Just run your expeditions. If you followed my post I made on the page, you were smart and you used base parts before the raid even started to strip down all your turrets to save you a lot of time. Like I'm a total freaking farm right now because I got like 6 turrets. I ain't got shit on them. I'm in beta world. If you want to come hit me, you're gonna get in right now. I'll tell you that.
Oh, I know where you're at too.
Well, there you go. So yeah, but I mean, yeah, I guess that pretty much covers everything we got to say.
Yeah,
So-
I found you and bookmarked you already.
There you go. Anybody in chat have any questions before we close it off? Give them a couple minutes to get that. I know there's a delay between the stream and what they hear and see.
Yeah, well, if you do get hit, it's half repair time, so it's all good.
I don't care if I get hit. It's a freaking
Yeah.
pirate game, dude.
That's
Yeah,
right.
I get hit all the time. It don't matter.
Plus, you get a shiny bubble. Looks so good.
Oh, Vlad and I were having some interesting back and forth on the whole sniping thing today on the page. That was fun.
Oh, we won't even go into that. That's it's part of the game. It's been part of the game, but yeah, at the beginning of the game, we didn't have all these chores either and chore fleets.
But I mean, and I'll put this tip out on the show too. If you're one of those people who does have a sniper in your sector while you're trying to do your raid, there's many ways around it. Make sure you come out of your targets hot all the time. You can go hit raid targets in a whole nother sector. That way they can't find you.
Yep.
So there's ways around it.
Oh yeah, I've never had a sniper stop me. They can be a pain in the ass for your low level players. Is the only thing I hate, because they're low level players really are not adapted to getting out and going and getting out hot and all that.
Well, and you don't even necessarily have to be a low level player. If you're a non-coiner player, the snipers are a big pain in the ass.
Oh yes,
because hey, guess what? They just sank my fleet. And now I'm out for like 7 hours, 8 hours, whatever.
Yep.
Now, I wasn't here for the start of the show. Did you cover the TLC?
No, actually, we did not talk about the TLC because I haven't done the TLC, and I really had nothing to. I had no valuable information put out there for it.
Yeah, I just seen it pop up now. The Cold Fusion TLC.
I did one prize pack.
Well, hang on. Mike actually has done a prize pack, so let's listen to him a little bit.
Just for the hell of it, and I tried different fleets just to see what would work good, and my FM fleet with the 2 Zelos and the Morts do it with no damage, so it's like an FM target.
Oh, there you go. Like the old FM targets, so like icebreakers would probably work pretty good in it too.
Yep.
They recommend icebreakers and monoliths.
Yep.
And the most important thing is if you can do the TLC, you will get a lot of Skyfire tokens and BXP tokens.
Yes.
And you don't have to then buy them in the raid if you can get them from here.
Yeah,
so
I really think
about that.
I really think it's for those that can't participate well in the raid, so that they can get something.
Get something, yeah.
Yeah, but rather than buying it in the raid for your hard-earned points that you may have to spend money for, if you can do this with an FM fleet for no damage, well,
holy crap! There's like a crap ton of tokens in there.
Yeah,
you can build. There's enough tokens in there to build yourself almost a fleet.
89 days worth of Skyfire build tokens in there.
Yeah, I say you can build yourself almost a fleet of them.
Good Christ, man! I might go do that campaign just so I can build them until they switch the titanium targets, freaking auto titanium.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's
I already got a fleet. Maybe I'll build another one just for it.
Well, you can run 2 at the same time.
Yeah, it's not a bad TLC.
I mean, yeah, that's why I mentioned it. It's a lot of tokens in there.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. I didn't even look at it because I wasn't going to do it. But now that I see you get like 89 freaking tokens, that's crazy.
I don't think we've ever got that many tokens in anything ever.
No.
Hang on. Let me go look at Skyfire tokens and see what the maximum is.
Yeah,
100 or 99.
I think it's 99.
I'm pretty sure it probably is, but I just want to double check.
But in
And
the
of course, I
mastery,
don't have any.
yeah, in the mastery price, you get a 20-day. You can get 3 20-day build tokens, so that'll be in its own little niche, I think.
Yeah.
And the other ones are all 1 days, aren't they? Yeah, 1 by 10, 1 by 10. Yeah, 1 by 9. So they're all single.
The thing that's really going to kill you though is you don't have any Gutspill Skyfire tokens or Gutspill Skyfire in there.
True.
Because without that flag, the fleet's not the greatest.
I'm not sure now. Like I said, I wasn't here at the start when you did all that token stuff. Is there any in the raid? You might be able to get some from the raid for that, and then you've got the complete set.
Well, yeah, I mean, for somebody like me, yeah, but for somebody who's like doing that because they can't really do anything in the raid, they're not going to be able to get raid points to get those tokens.
Well, with help from Alliance, it's just enough to get the Gutspill tokens. Yeah, it's an option. It's an option.
That's a possibility. But yeah, I'm definitely glad you brought that up because like I had totally overlooked that whole thing.
I think a lot of people have. You know, you look at it, there is just a ton of tokens.
Oh yeah, like Christmas and Easter on 1 day. There you go.
I mean, they build those, and then they can participate in the raid with all those tokens and VXP and stuff. They'd be able to do some 60s with those.
That's another way to look at it. Yeah, yeah. I'm not watching YouTube. Was there any questions from YouTube?
No, seems like YouTube doesn't want to listen to us anymore. So I think that's cue. We're done. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Give us a thumbs up, share us with your friends, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. And we'll see you Saturday when we do our open mic and get some more people talking about what's going on in the raid and how they're doing. Until then, peace out.
Yep. Good night, all.
Good raid.
Adios.